Hey there, hadn't done an update in a while, so here it is. Been working more and more on this corner. Got some streets laid out, dirt road going into the paved industrial area. Concrete paving, it's not done yet. It's gonna have another layer. There's gonna be bulldozers and stuff hopefully over in this area. It's just gonna be the petroleum coke loading area into hopper cars. These are gondolas, but I need to get some hopper cars to go with this area. Tank train will load over there. Extras will sit over here or something. Just kind of making it look busy, industrial. Kit bashing Walter's ice house, loading platforms into part of the refinery, and then the ice house itself will go in as an old agricultural structure over in the town on the other side of the layout. So tank farm in the back. That's really as big a tanks as I could get away with. That one is, it's like a hot chocolate container or something, that big one. And it should be about twice as big. The main tanks at the refinery that's kind of semi-modeling this after, they're about twice the diameter of a tank car. Like 2 tank cars equals the diameter. And this is like 1, so it needs to be about twice as big, but I don't have room for that, so this is going to have to do. Hopefully it'll look okay at the tank farm when I'm done with piping and stuff like that, and hopefully it'll look okay. Maybe on the backdrop we'll have a tank farm in the background in the distance. Up behind that blue foam, which is going to be like a sandy dune with backdrop behind it. Backdrop will cover over the electronics board over there. Kind of edge of that foam core panel down there with the blue tape. The edge of that, the radius will be like, the backdrop will be kind of on that, or resting on that. Not attached, but resting, because it's going to have to slide in. So, working on this area, but I haven't ballasted these tracks much yet. These spurs. I did ballast this one area here. I'll zoom in. This back area, this spur, I ballasted up to be a kind of dirty siding, dirty industrial spur, bad ballast job, or just covered over by runoff and mud and things. I think it needs more plaster up around it, make the track a little more sunk into the dirt. You can't see the ties at the refinery's spurs that I'm modeling this after. They're just totally buried in the dirt, so I'm going to just totally bury them. All you can see is the rail sticking up where they've kind of scraped off the top. That area needs to be plastered and ballasted deeper. Through there, starting to be ballasted up in there. So, main line ballasted, pretty much done. Painted. And then got to do it up from there all the way around. And this area hasn't been done really. Put some plaster up there, but no ballast. And I'm not even sure I'm going to keep that foam track bed. I like cork more. That Woodland Scenics foam, it seems a little too spongy. It's a little weird. Let's see. I feel like it's kind of like, for the novice, kind of doing it backwards in a bunch of ways. It's been like moving a refrigerator through a doorway, like how you have to like tilt it back and like move one corner a couple inches and then another corner a couple inches and kind of walk it through. That's what this feels like. Like, make a little progress and then it explains what I need to do in another area, so I try and make a little progress there so that then other things will be explained. Because I'm having to develop a vision of how this is going to be as I go with the space I have to use. Because I don't really have a good conceptualization of the scale and the size of all these things, so I can't put them together in my head and then put it together on the benchwork and have it look right. Because it's my first layout. But it's still going okay. Just slower than it would go for someone with more experience. Anyway, I'll keep it short. 5-minute update just on this corner area. I'm going to totally change this bench work up here, it's going to be sweeping back and narrow. All the shelving where all this stuff is piled up isn't going to be there. It's going to be open over the top of this much more with just that track. The fascia is going to be like along the edge of the track, and I'm not going to have this this blue flat area here. It's going to be gone. It's going to curve back in and curve around. The fascia on the edge of where the track is. The foam replaced with plywood, and then yeah, that'll make this area more open, more daylighted. Because I'm doing so much work in this industry, it's going to be kind of a feature, I guess. Anyway, alright, I think that's going to do it for there. I don't know if I ever did an update on this, that I did get these plaster cloth, wireframe plaster cloth and all that, and I just need to kind of do some washes on them and then start laying down some static grass and foliage and all that, and then at least this this upper section will be semi-done. I still need to make the underlaying bench work and then foam frame and all that for this section here from there to over where the track meets up with the with the 180 turn going back down. It's going to be thin plywood underneath all this. That needs to be done. And it'll be really nice when I get that done and get the upper level at least looking like a layout. Get the fascia on the front of it and float. Get those pillars out of from the yard area and float that. I have brackets to float it. I haven't mounted it all up yet because the brackets need to be slightly bent, and they're like heavy steel brackets, and I got like a bad back and I just can't do it myself, so I'm gonna have to get a little help to try and straighten those to 90, because they ain't 90 unfortunately, and for the price they kind of should have been, but well, whatever. Yeah, tore the town all out, but it's gonna go back in. I think I'm gonna put it in with Atlas Flex Track. I don't like the Cauda track in the town. It looks too thick. I'd have to raise everything up to basically cover all the ballast on it, because the short line town track and the line leading to town doesn't have that thick of ballast. It's very rough, lots of weeds in it. Yeah, the Cauda track just looks too nice. It looks like mainline. Looks like a mainline track, and it needs to look like a scrubby local line, ill-kept track. So it's not going to be Cauda in here. It's going to be Atlas Flex Track and Atlas and Pico switches on ground throws. I don't want to use any DCC in the town because it's just, they don't have that in town. They have people that come out from industries and flip switches, or the conductor gets off the local switcher and flips a switch. So it'd be DCC on the main line and all that, because that's controlled by dispatchers for UP, out of state even. They're like in Omaha, so that's all very realistic to have that on DCC. Am I starting to mumble? I have a toothache, so maybe I'll just call it a day on this. All right, everybody, happy railroading. One more look at the good-looking area. Yeah, I like these Caboose Industries ground throws, but they're too big for N scale. I mean, it's just huge. It's like this gigantic edifice of a structure. I mean, next to like a truck, it's like, really? No, it's not going to work for this truck next to it. Yeah, that's a little big for a switch. I mean, it's like, dude, no, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to have to make at least the handle for it, the bar coming out, like a little looping kind of modern switch structure, which it's like a Y structure with the top closed, so you can grab it with like two hands and tilt it over, like that. They're shaped like, the pillar goes up and then it goes like that, over, around, and down. And I'll make it out of wire, music wire. It's very stiff. It'll turn that, and it'll be smaller scale. It'll look better. So that's the plan for the ground throw. The base structure is a bit big too. I'm going to try and put it underneath the plate on the switch and bury it into the plaster so that you can't see most of it, and you won't be able to see the base plate, just the uprights, because it is just massive. I mean, it's the size of a car. It's literally the size of like a Mini Cooper. Yeah, it's not going to do. I do like them, and it's funner to do a ground throw on an industry that, you know, wouldn't have like electronic switches anyway. But they are a bit big. All right, that's going to do it because my tooth hurts. Happy railroading, everybody. Take care.